Alright people, welcome back to another video of a lengthy series with the random miscellaneous vocabulary. So let's continue, right? Media dia, right, meaning half day. Media dia. It's borrowed Spanish. Media meaning half, dia meaning day. Media dia. And you can use this as an expression or like to express something that's saying, Uy, media dia na, it's gonna take half day. It's already half day. Right? Today was just a half day. Media dia karon. Right? Today, half day already, or half of the day has already passed, right? Just half day. The next one is abdik, which is describing someone who is fast, quick, lively, and just very live in action, and fast and quick and just really moving around, like always jittery and moving and just that kind of person, right? It's to be that kind of like fast and quick and move and, just active, right? Just an active person. Abdik, right? Abdik. It's just a really active person who's fast and quickly and moving around. Lihok, right? Lihok is next. It means to move. It means just movement. Okay, and I want to point this out, right? Lihok I really want to point out that lihok really closely just means like movement or just something that's moving live, like in live motion. Lihok, right? Because we have other verbs like balhin and irog that can also mean to move, right? But they have like specific meanings for moving. Like irog means like moving objects from side to side, moving back like that, right? Balhin moving from place to place. Lihok meaning to like movement of something that was live, right? Or movement of an object that moved. That's what we mean. Because irog is like just move an object, move it to the side. That's what we can say to irog, move it from side to side, is we can use irog to describe that. But lihok is an object that had, or an object or thing, or even people, I guess, an object or like a thing that moves, right? So for example, if I caught a live fish, right, the fish is still alive because it's still moving and flopping up and down, right? Or in Cebuano, buhi pang isda kay naglihok-lihok pa, because it's still moving. The fish is alive because it's still moving, right? So that's like the best way I can describe it. Or like if you saw an object placed somewhere originally, and then it moved and then later on you saw it move to another place. That's also, you can also use lihok to describe that. For example, if I see a bottle that was on the right side of the table, and then later on I come back to that same room and I see the bottle that was the bottle moved to the left side of the table, somebody or something moved that object, I can use the verb lihok to describe that action. All right, kinsa naglihok sa botilya, who moved the bottle, right? The next word we have is burot. Okay, burot. Now burot means like to swell, but in a way like to swell because of inflation, right? Or to swell up, like something round. Like if you're blowing a balloon, this is the best example, is like because it usually just means to blow balloons and stuff like that. If you're blowing a balloon, it inflates in a round way, so it just has to go whoop like that. So any objects, right? Buro just means like to swell, in terms or by means of inflation, when it goes woo, like when you see something swelling like that, but it's swelling in a round way. So you can use buro to blow balloons when hot air balloons are being aired up. They are being swollen up because they're round and they're being filled with hot air, right? That's one way you can use burot. Another way was like if you're pumping air inside a ball. Let's say the ball is flat and you're pumping air inside a ball, and then it becomes more round again as air comes inside it. That's another way you can use burot. So burot just means like to swell via inflation or something round, okay? And it's only specific to that kind of swell. Hubag means like something that was swollen in your body or like in your skin, okay? Like redness on the skin, like a swollen red thing on the skin, like whether it's like a boil or a blemish, or like maybe you were stung by a bee or bitten by a bug, and then you see a swollen red lump on your skin. That's hubag, and it only specifically means like that red swollen part of the skin, like it's it's a swollen bug bite, or maybe it was like an itchy rash that was swollen on your skin, right? It specifically means that. Our next word is tuka, right? Tuka, and it means to peck with the beak. So one of the definitions actually. So if you see a chicken or a bird that's pecking on something, right, and it's constantly pecking on something, maybe on a hard object or a shell or something, it's eating some seeds or pecking on seeds to eat it, right? It just means to peck, like peck, 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 right? And that's one of the ways tuka can be translated as to peck. Like it's pecking on wood, it's pecking on a nut, it's pecking on seeds or on food. It's pecking with a beak. It's to peck. The other meaning for tuka is to choke, right? To choke, like let's say you're eating food, right? And then you were eating food, you swallowed, and then you're choking on food. You can use the verb tuka, meaning to choke. Ay, gitukan, tukan. I don't know. I can't really think of an example here, but like you were choking on food, and some piece of food just choked you, right? Tuka. You can also use it in terms of death, like if you were strangled, or if somebody was strangled by choking somebody, like yeah, you were choking, like, so I guess dukat can mean to choke in a way, to choke in like food, or by suffocation, by strangling somebody. So dukat can be used in those ways, to peck or to choke. um Next we have dukat, right? Dukat. And duka means to be drowsy, like you're already nodding your head back and forth, like, you're sleepy. Katulgon, right, is the verb to be sleepy, but you can use duka to help you even describe that, right? Oh, tanawan mo si Maria, nadukat naman siya sa iyang ulo, right? Her head is already nodding back and forth. She's drowsy. Katulgon na siya. She is sleepy. She's drowsy. Nagduka, katulgon, right? So she's already drowsy because we see her nodding her head back and forth already, and she's sleepy. Katulgon na, right? So to be like drowsy, nodding your head back and forth. And then duko, right? Duko means to bow your head, right? To bow your head, or to lower your head, or to duck. So you can use duko to bow your head, like meaning like, oh, you're gonna bow, you're gonna take a bow, or something like that. Or you were ashamed about something because somebody was scolding you, somebody was mad at you, and somebody was yelling at you, so you bow your head in shame, right? You're guilty about something, so you put your head down because you're guilty of it, you're found guilty, and you're ashamed of it. Duko can mean that. Duko can also mean to lower your head or duck your head to evade something. Maybe you were walking in a passageway and there was something on top of you, and then you lowered your head to evade it, to avoid it, right? So you don't bump your head into it, right? So duko can mean that, to lower or bow your head, right? And it's specific to that. Duyan means hammock, as in a hammock that you swing side to side and sleep in. Labyug means to sway or swing around, right? It's just swaying back and forth, swinging, right? And it's just like constantly, like, swinging. It's like that swaying, moving, or like that, right? Utong means to bear down. So in this example, we can say like, oh, you're trying to poo, right? You're trying to poo, and you're trying to force that poo, or you're trying to defecate, and you're forcing that crap to go down. Like you're going, right? You're forcing it out of your butt. You're bearing down, right? Like you're holding your breath, and then you're pushing down, or you're trying to push down on your butt, and then you're to try to poop. Okay. You can also use this if to describe someone that's pregnant and who's giving birth, and the female is pushing out the baby. Okay, so if she's giving birth and she's pushing out the baby, utong is a good verb to use because she's bearing down, she's pushing, she keeps pushing all her muscles so the baby can come out, right? So if you're trying to poop, or if you're constipated and you're trying to poop, you can use this. And if you're pregnant trying to push something out, yeah, you can use utong. Okay. Balong means to extinguish or put out fires, right? It can be either in candles, in a fire, in a live fire, like if a building was on fire. If you light a candle, you're going to put it out. If you're going to go to a campfire, you put it out. Balong can mean that it's to extinguish fires or put out specifically fires. It can also mean to turn off light sources, okay? Balong. And this verb is specific to just light and fires and light, things that just illuminate something, to put it out, right? To cut it or turn it off, right? Turn off light sources or turn off the light switch, right? Or to extinguish the fires. That's what palong means. Some people, if they don't know how to use palong, some people will say patay or patay, right? To kill the lights, right? But yeah, patya sa suga, right? Kill the lights. Patyang suga, turn off the lights, right? But palong is a more appropriate verb for this case. Taya means rust or to be rusty. So if you see metal that's rusting, taya is your word, your the verb to use. Now, sometimes it can also mean like something metallic or a rust or a metallic taste when you drink water from a pipe. Yeah, let's say that the pipe was really old and rusty and there's water coming from it, and then you drink from that water and it tasted really kind of metallic and rusty. You can use taya to describe that, right? Taya, right, to describe the taste. Taod means to install, like electrical wirings. Now, usually this means to install electrical things, electrical objects, right? Electronics, right? It means just to install, like you're going to install a wireless router, you're going to install and put the wirings so they're out of the way, you're going to install other electronic stuff around the house. Like taod is the specific verb for that. And lastly, for this video, we have ubos, right? Ubos is a directional word. So you can say sa ubos, meaning below, right? Some people know it as ilalom. They both mean the same, or almost the same, I guess. But sa ubos, sa ilalom, meaning somewhere underneath, somewhere down below, yeah, or down under. Yeah, so underneath or down under is what ubos can translate to. Whereas ilalom is just deep, like deep or down, right? And hopefully this can help you again with your vocabulary.